We are coming to the end of 2023 and it's been quite a packed year of watch releases. So here are my top choices, the things that have really stood out to me as being the best watches of 2023. Now I've tried to keep my choices to watches that I've actually got hands on with, but there are still some brands that are tricky to get. First off, and if you follow the channel, this won't be a surprise, but I think at the time, it was a massive surprise, and that is the Tudor Pelagos FXD in black. Now, at the time of launch, I was at the launch of this watch in Florida, and at the time, everyone felt a bit deflated when we saw this watch because of the amount of hype that this watch had. We thought it was going to be something slightly different, as opposed to what a lot of people, myself included, labeled this launch as simply just a color change. Now the dust has settled around this release, I actually think it's a fantastic release from Tudor. My hunch is this is going to be the format for the new Tudor Pelagos, the normal Pelagos, not the FXD, not the 39, the Tudor Pelagos. I think this format is killer. It didn't need to have such a big release, and it didn't need to be connected to anything fancy. It should just be the normal FXD. I love this. The next is a brand new release, and this is from IWC. This is the IWC Mojave Desert Chronograph 41. So they've already got the larger chronograph, and IWC, along with many trends from watch brands focusing on smaller watches, IWC is following that and giving us essentially what we want, a smaller chronograph. IWC chronographs are absolutely stunning. I think they are some of the sexiest chronographs around. My biggest gripe is the thickness. So now that we've got the width of the chronographs down, IWC, we really need to get the thickness of these chronographs down. And the moment you guys do this, I think you could dominate the chronograph market. Next up, we have a controversial watch, and that is the Rolex OP Oyster Perpetual with the bubble dial. When this was launched, people thought, Rolex, what the hell are you doing? You're such a conservative, such a serious watch brand. Why are you trying to be fun? And I actually think that this is the future of watch trends, is fun, is colorful. It doesn't need to be so conservative. Now, it's a bit of a challenge because this watch is legitimately hard to get hold of. And so it's annoying that someone who is a trendsetter and someone that is able to do something slightly different, that they have limited. They're not limited, they just end up in the wrong hands, grey dealers and the such. But the reality is that I truly feel this is the future of watch design, is color, is doing something different. Although to be fair, had Omega done that with a Speedmaster, I probably would have criticized it. What I like about Rolex doing the bubble dial is the fact that they are so serious, they are so conservative, and this is them saying, hey, we can do something fun. I actually really like it. Talking about Omega, I think these guys, they've had some funny releases throughout this year. I didn't like how they did their Seamaster release, but one of the releases that I did really like is this Omega Aquaterra World Timer. I love how this, for me, is a perfect evolution of watch design. We have such a traditional watch complication, the world time, traditional watch dial design and dial function with the world map in the middle. This is something you would see of watches of old. This is something you'd see Patek doing a very traditional case, for example. But this is Omega doing a very traditional watch design, but nothing about this feels old. Nothing about this feels dated. In fact, this feels very modern, very forward thinking. And I love that color of green. It's such a deep, such a rich green. It is a legitimately sexy green. Someone got upset in my last video when I called a watch sexy, saying that you can't find watches sexy and you shouldn't find one. What I do, I'm attracted to watches. Get over it. Before I tell you about my final two favorite watches of this year, you can have your say on what you think are your favorite watches of this year. I'm part of a podcast called About Effing Time. We have a YouTube channel, check it out. But what you can do is get involved with the About Effing Time Awards. We're calling it a community awards because it's not us voting for the watches, it's you. So there'll be a link in the description down below. Go onto your WhatsApp groups, share it with your friends, get everyone involved because it'd be amazing to see the result of what you guys vote. And we'll be doing an About Effing Time episode where we share what legitimately are the best watches of 2023 because your collective voice is more powerful than anything. So my next watch is from a fashion brand, Hermes. Hermes are more known for their bags, their clothing accessories, but they've been making watches for over 100 years. This H08 monopusher chronograph is Absolutely brilliant. I love the carbon fiber case. I love the largely monochrome design about it with the little touches of orange. This is, again, a very futuristic looking watch. I feel like this design is a departure from the normal vision of Hermes. This is just a killer watch. So my final choice, and you'll probably know this if you saw my previous video, my final choice is from Chopard. It's a Chopard LUC Strike 1 in white gold. This thing is just absolutely stunning, but I'm going to tell you more information about it than what I did in my previous video because it has a really cool, interesting construction about it. It looks similar to a minute repeater, but with the mono pusher within the crown, that activates an hour chime. Rather than the gong mechanism telling the time like on a minute repeater, the gong mechanism actually just tells you the hour, kind of like what you had on the Casio watches when you were a kid. The mono pusher simply activates the hourly gong or deactivates the hourly gong. The gong on this watch, on the hour, strikes a sapphire crystal, the sapphire crystal. The sapphire crystal has the flat section as normal on most watches, but there's a little extra section at the bottom, which is what the hammer strikes. So the sapphire crystal on top is what amplifies the sound. So imagine trying to craft that whole sapphire crystal without it cracking. I shot this late in the day at Dubai Watch Week, so that's why the color's all off and the light is a bit crap. But if you get the chance to see one of these, Chopard LUC Strike 1 in white gold, do check it out because it is absolutely gorgeous. But regardless of my choices, this channel's all about just my thoughts. I just like talking about watches. I just like making videos about watches. So this is just my viewpoint of the watch world. But there's so much more out there, and you guys together can vote for whatever you want. I'll put a link in the description below and in that first comment so that you can go over and vote. And please share it on your WhatsApp groups, forums. Get as many people involved in this as possible because it'd be really cool to get a proper insight into what you guys would actually buy. Anyway guys, let me know your thoughts on my choices in the comments down below. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button. If you like this style of this video, hit the subscribe button down there and that little bell icon to get notifications when I drop a new video. If you're on Instagram, give me a follow at Adrian Barker. You can also check out my watch straps and watch accessories over at barkandjack.com or at barkandjack. And I'll see you very soon. Take care.